weather is starting to settle into fall. It's getting nice and cool and breezy outside. And even though we are a little late, I checked the mic and it damn sure sounds right, boy. And that could only mean that it's Saturday! You know what that means? We're live! Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only DJ Storms, and I would like to welcome each and every single one of you back here to the greatest fucking show on earth! Streaming across 4 different platforms, 6 different accounts. This is the Lightning Flash update. As of course, you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy, and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle, no. Oh, man. You smell that? You know what that is right there? That right there. Oh, that right there is the smell of pure excellence. Wait for it. Wait for it. To mankind! This is the official Lightning Flash update for Saturday, September 24th, 2022. It is nuts. It is absolutely fucking nuts. The month of December is almost over. I don't even know what to think of it. I really don't even know what to think of it at this rate. It is absolutely ridiculous. Time is just going so fucking fast. But regardless of all of that, we're here and we have a shit ton of material to talk about. Yes, it is rather late than usual. Had some personal obligations going on. But nevertheless, I still come here to give you guys the best damn wrestling analytical show that you will ever fucking see across the entire IWC. Got a decent crowd in the chat so far. I see Mitch has decided to drop by and remind everyone that I am exactly what I say that I am, and that is the best in the motherfucking business. No one better. No one better. I see my girl Jess is also here. As well as Normal Guy and DJ Sums, just making sure everyone knows that I am the best. Which reminds me, before we get into what we need to get into, just want to let everyone know I was not tweeting during SmackDown last night because I was at the King of ISPW tournament over in Totowa, New Jersey, in the Totowa PAL, a hot crowd. Jess's husband Roman is also here as well, so shout out to him. And I also met them, as well as their friends Alan and Sarah. They all came out to support ISPW in Totowa, New Jersey, where we saw the crowning of the first ever King of ISPW, which is Rick Recon. We are living in the Rick Recon era, because Recon rules in ISPW. So shout out to Rick Recon, and shout out to Jess, Roman, Alan, and Sarah as well. Thank you all for coming out. It's a pleasure meeting you. Hope to see you all very soon again. Hope to see you at the next ISPW show as well. ISPW, that's the place to be here in New Jersey when it comes to independent professional wrestling. Believe me there. But nevertheless, we got a loaded show. We have a lot to talk about. A lot of interesting reports, including why is WWE doing Roman Paul? Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul. Just exactly why are they doing that? Oh, why can it be? We're going to answer those questions. We will answer those questions and so many more. We're going to talk about War Games as well. War Games has been announced for Survivor Series. It is a big time to be a wrestling fan for WWE. War Games has been announced for Survivor Series. We're also going to talk about what the backstage environment is like in AEW now that CM Punk has officially been removed from the locker room, and he could very well be gone, period. Could very well be gone, period. So we're going to have a lot to talk about, so sit tight. Before we get into what we need to get into, first things first, please make sure if you're not already doing so, you're following me on social media, Twitter and Instagram at HistoryMakerDJS. I got the blue background today with the blue banner and the blue name tag over here because I'm wearing blue today. I look the best in red and black, but blue is my favorite color, so I got to sport some blue today. Got the collared shirt and everything. Maybe I'll pop the collar just for the video. Anyway. What we also got, Twitter and Instagram at HistoryMakerDJS, because all I do is make history. No matter what I'm doing, no matter how I'm doing it, every single time that I'm right here on YouTube in front of this camera, in front of this beautiful blue snowball microphone, I'm always making history. So follow me. That's right. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HistoryMakerDJS. You can add me on Facebook as well for collaborations and business inquiries. Please make sure that you send me an email. My email is, of course, StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. Please make sure that you like the official DJ Storms business page, and I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms posse group on Facebook. That is, all of those links are in the description. I was at Dynamite Grand Slam on Wednesday. Excellent fucking show from top to bottom. Easily the best Dynamite of the entire year. I did not take any notes on AEW Dynamite Grand Slam since I was at the actual event in Arthur Ashe Stadium, but I'll tell you what I did do. What I did do is I did star on Top Rope Squishy's channel. That is right. On Thursday evening, I went live with Top Rope Squishy on her channel to discuss everything that went down at AEW Dynamite Grand Slam. So if you want to go check that out, that link is in the description as we speak. You could check that out after the Lightning Flash update is indeed over. Please make sure, if you haven't already done so, we're about 9 minutes almost into the stream. If you have not liked the stream, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. I don't know why the fuck you even came here. When you come on in, you need to cha-ching like that stream, because that's what we do over here. Whether you're watching on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, you need to like it. Like it and share out the stream. Share it out to your friends, your family members, your pets, everyone. Please do. Please make sure that you share it out on all platforms, social media. I'm talking Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, Snapchat, TikTok, Twitch, whatever social media platforms that you might be using. Please make sure you share it out. It is very vital that you do so. And then on top of that, when you share out the stream, if you're watching on YouTube, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button on YouTube, hit the subscribe button on my channel, and then go over to the Hardcore Sports channel, hit the subscribe button over there. Please make sure you do that. Hardcore Sports YouTube channel right down here, Hardcore Sports Network, as well as Instagram, Hardcore Sports Network. Twitch, we're streaming live right now, Hardcore Sports 1, and Twitter right here, Hardcore Sports N. Follow Hardcore Sports on all of those platforms on social media. And, of course, if you're watching on YouTube, be sure that you smash that subscribe button and hit that notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. That way you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, baby, it is the best time to be on YouTube, because it's the only time that you won't get to see this glorious sideburn chin strap combination and this beautiful mustache right here. I think it's time. Earl Cole is not in the chat right now. He'll be in here sooner rather than later, but we're going to light it up right here on the channel with a little and a dash of and a whole lot of because like Campbell's soup, like a freshly made Thanksgiving dinner, just like a pulled pork sandwich on a hot summer day, just like a bowl of tomato soup on a cold winter's night with some grilled cheese on the side. I'm so good. Because everybody wants a piece of the Storms Meister. Speaking of good, I actually had a roast sirloin sandwich with gravy and some curly fries on the side for lunch. Holy shit, was that good. Nice tall glass of Sprite as well. Real good stuff right there. That's how I live. That's how I live. Anyway, enough of chit chat. We're going to get right into the news, rumors, and reports. We got a lot of shit to go over. I got an update on Randy Orton. Randy Orton, as you know, has been out since May of this year after him and Riddle lost the Raw Tag Team titles to the Usos, and the Usos became the undisputed tag team champions. A recent report from PW Insider has suggested that Randy Orton will not be coming back anytime soon, and he's currently set to be sidelined for a little bit longer. The reports have suggested that he is on an extended time off leave. Indeed, an extended time off leave due to his injury, which is said to be a raging back injury. Now, many people are wondering what it's from, how he got this. Stuff like this, when you're a pro wrestler and all you do for 20 straight years, you've been doing this for 20 years, this year, 20 years, all you do is take bumps. Stuff like this is absolutely bound to happen. So this right here, this is just the cost that Randy Orton pays for being a pro wrestler. He's not young. He's not old, but he's not young. He's 42 years old. That's not necessarily a young age. Yes, age can be just a number, but when it comes to professional wrestling and all you're doing is falling flat on your back, unfortunately, stuff like this is going to happen. But after everything that Randy Orton has given us, and everything that he's done over the course of his career, I'm going to say, take as much time off as you need. Take as much time off as you need. Relax. Do what you need to do. When you're ready to come back. Plain and simple. Right now, we don't really need Randy Orton. Randy Orton, we can start talking about his comeback maybe around the Royal Rumble time. And to be quite honest with you, that's probably the best route to go. It's not like WWE TV is hurting from Randy Orton being off TV. Yes, he's missed, but Triple H has been putting out some really solid material as of lately, especially Raw and SmackDown this week. Two very good shows. So we'll talk about those shows a little bit later on, but for those of you that wanted an update on Randy Orton, there is your update. Randy Orton is said to be out for the rest of the year, potentially going into next year. Will he be back around the Royal Rumble? Only time will tell. We got an update on this White Rabbit deal. WWE has been playing the song White Rabbit during the commercial breaks on Raw and SmackDown and at live events, at house shows. Russell Votes tweeted out an update on this White Rabbit deal, which is seemingly a cryptic puzzle, a cryptic wordplay puzzle that everyone is trying to decode and solve. Russell Votes tweeted out, and I quote, asked the source about the White Rabbit deal. Source said, while he suspects it's Bray Wyatt, he said it's being, and I quote, withheld from everyone. WWE's been able to draw significant interest from this without it being a TV storyline, and they'd like to keep it as quiet as possible. So pretty much what they're telling you is it's Bray Wyatt without actually telling you it's Bray Wyatt, because all the pieces pretty much fall into place. All the pieces pretty much fall into place. White Rabbit, he's connected to Rambling Rabbit. Who killed the world? You did. And Bray Wyatt is pretty much coming back with this cryptic message that he wants to have redemption and shit like that. One thing that I know for sure is when it does turn out to be Bray Wyatt, I do not see who else it would fucking be. But when it does turn out to Bray Wyatt, I do have a big feeling that Bray Wyatt is going to come back, and similar to everyone else who has come back under Triple H, the Johnny Garganos, the Dexter Loomises, even Braun Strowman. I'll even throw him in there because he's actually been pretty fucking entertaining since he's come back. I have not been as nauseated by Braun Strowman as I thought I would have been. Now, that's not to say he's a great act on TV, but for what I'm seeing, Braun Strowman has been made into a somewhat bearable act. And we'll talk about that when we get to his match with Otis, which was actually a very fun match. Fun little match that they had. But as far as Bray Wyatt goes, I know for a fact that just like everyone else that came before him, he is not going to waste any time, and he is going to absolutely take the fucking world by storm and show everyone what you and everyone else that watched him throughout his entire career, dating all the way back to when he debuted in 2013, what everyone missed. What everyone should have been subjected to, not this bullshit that Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard forced upon you with Bray Wyatt. He's going to show everyone just how good he really fucking is. It's going to be a great thing to see. Continuing with the positive news stories, Fightful Select gave us an update on the backstage environment feel on AEW in the last few weeks since the backstage melee at All Out between CM Punk, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and Ace Steel. And it is a positive note. A longtime AEW talent said the last 3 weeks have been much more laid back than how things were in the weeks that led up to All Out. Another veteran claimed that the locker room has been the best over the last 3 tapings that it's been in quite a while. Now, who this veteran is, I'm going to go on record and say that it's probably going to be Chris Jericho. It's probably going to be Chris Jericho, but Chris Jericho wanted to keep himself anonymous, in this case with Fightful. Although Chris Jericho did come out publicly and say that we're bigger and stronger than ever without CM Punk. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't know what exactly is going to happen there, but it's definitely going to be an interesting topic to keep our eyes on. But as far as this report goes, the fact that this is coming out in the last 3 tapings, this is a great thing. This is a great thing because now everything is calming down, everything's laid back. More and more people, they're enjoying coming to work. It's not just a job to them. It's a family-oriented environment. Now things are starting to come together backstage in a way in which we can actually be happy about the company's direction in terms of a backstage perspective. Because when it comes to their on-screen television product, it's never been bad. We've never had a bad episode of Dynamite. We've never had a bad episode of Rampage. I know what bad is. We've had a lot of lackluster ones, don't get me wrong. We've had a lot of ho-hum Dynamites and ho-hum Rampages. We've had some shows where they're not usually up to par as AEW usually is, simply because AEW, they've set the bar so fucking high that it's almost impossible to break through that ceiling. But we've never had a bad show. They've been able to keep their product decent, but in terms of their backstage environment, they've been losing control over the course of the entire summer. Now that Punk's gone, and the drama with the Elite and the drama with Ace Steel and Kenny Omega, that is out of sight, out of mind. Now things are starting to come together. Things are starting to get a little bit more laid back, and we're getting back to the AEW that we should have gotten all this time. And Tony Khan is slowly trying to manage everything and keep things at bay, keep things calm, keep things cool. And if that's the case, good. I'm happy about that. That's exactly how it should be. I'll keep you guys updated on that, but that's definitely a very positive news source to come out of Fightful. Interesting little topic here. Ronda Rousey I believe she was streaming on Twitch, if I'm not mistaken. Ronda Rousey, she is an avid Twitch streamer. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't keep track of Ronda Rousey's life outside of wrestling because, quite frankly, I don't give a fuck. But on a recent episode of The Baddest Stream on the Planet, this is why I'm assuming it's Twitch, because she said stream. On an episode of The Baddest Stream on the Planet, Ronda was actually asked which superstar must have better screen time on TV. And she mentioned Shayna Baszler. She goes, "You're totally right about Shayna being one of the best people on the show. I need them to get their shit together and realize it." Now, this has actually started up some rumors and rumblings backstage. Most notably, it came out of Ringside News that Ronda Rousey is supposedly pushing for Shayna Baszler to be on TV more. Now, if that's the case, I'm very, very happy about that. Very happy about that. And this is one of the cases where someone like this can stream on Twitch and someone like this can go to management and pitch for someone to be on TV more, and she's not going to get shut down because she's Ronda fucking Rousey. Ronda Rousey was the woman that single-handedly pushed for Liv Morgan to become Mr. Money in the Bank and win the championship at Money in the Bank. And that right there, that I have an immense amount of respect for Ronda Rousey for. So you got to give a lot of props to her. You got to give a lot of respect to Ronda Rousey right there. And if she's pushing for Shayna Baszler to be on TV too, good. It's exactly where Shayna Baszler belongs. And if I'm booking this, I'm having Ronda beat Liv Morgan at Extreme Rules, and I'm having Ronda and Baszler go into the Rumble, with Baszler taking the title off of Ronda at the Rumble. Ronda can go and fight Becky at WrestleMania 39 without the championship. And then Baszler, now she being a made woman, can go on to WrestleMania and do her own thing against whoever. A Sasha, a Rhea, a Raquel, a Shotzi, a Bayley, whatever the fuck you want to do. That I'm very much looking forward to. And I'm very happy to hear that Ronda Rousey is petitioning for Shayna Baszler to be on TV more. As she should, because they're friends. This next thing is actually something that I didn't really notice at first. I didn't really care for it. But this is definitely a topic that's pretty interesting to talk about. Dave Meltzer, he recently talked about the AEW ranking system. AEW hasn't really emphasized their ranking system as of lately. Dave Meltzer provided an update on that. He commented on Wrestling Observer Radio stating, and I quote, the AEW rankings, they're not dead, but they have been toned down, but they're not dead. There was a decision not to emphasize them as much on television, but they could always go back to doing so. Now, I'm not sure what prompted Tony Khan to just end the ranking system, but I don't think that the ranking system is completely dead. I actually do believe Meltzer, but at the same point in time, the only thing that I can attribute this to is the fact that, like I've said for the longest time now, I said it throughout the summer, Tony Khan just has too much going on. Tony Khan just has so much to do that he is bombarded with so much shit that he's leaving some material on the wayside. Tony Khan, with so much shit to do, he's becoming lazy with certain aspects of the company and the show. This is why I've said for the longest time that Tony Khan, he needs to assemble a creative team, a developmental talent team who can take on the responsibilities full time. That way Tony Khan will have more free time to do other important things like speak to the talent or talk things out with people that may have drama, stuff like that. Talk some other people into signing with AEW, manage the backstage environment a little bit better. Tony Khan, he needs to assemble a creative team with people that he trusts. People that he trusts are going to go in there and run things exactly the way that they need to be run. You could put a Sanjay Dutt or a QT Marshall in charge of Dark or Dark Elevation. You can put a William Regal in charge of Rampage and Ring of Honor. And then you could put Tony Khan. Tony Khan only just has to worry about Dynamite. Everything was a lot more toned down and a lot more organized when Tony Khan was just running Dynamite. But as more and more material came about and as more talent came into the company, he was bombarded with so much shit that it's almost like he doesn't have time to breathe. He's probably on fucking 20 cups of coffee a day. He probably doesn't fucking sleep. Certain material is being neglected. Now, is it a big deal? No, but I do prefer the ranking system, and the ranking system makes wrestling and AEW feel more sports-oriented, and it needs to feel more sports-oriented. That's how it goes. It needs to feel like a legit sports-oriented company. Now, I'm not sure if they still post the rankings on Twitter. I have not really kept track of that because I have had a million different other things going on with my life. But this decision to not emphasize the rankings as much on TV, I'm not sure where it came from. But again, the only thing I can attribute it to is the fact that Tony Khan has so much material to do that he's just neglecting certain aspects of the company. And I don't like that. I do not like that at all. Tony Khan needs to get control, and Tony Khan needs to establish a creative team that is able to run certain aspects of the company in which he doesn't have to run. That way he can focus on other things. So I'll keep you guys updated as far as the ranking system with AEW goes. PostWrestling.com. This is actually a very, very, very nice update here. PostWrestling.com posted an update on Japanese sensation Konosuke Takeshita. He is set to return to the U.S. in October next month. This is fucking great. Why? Because Takeshita is fucking incredible. If you guys have not watched Takeshita, go back and rewatch the matches that he put on with Adam Page and Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli and Eddie Kingston. Konosuke Takeshita is a fucking beast. He's an absolute fucking beast. His matches that he put on throughout the course of the summer have been fucking phenomenal. And I'm so happy that he's coming back to the U.S. in October. And if I'm booking this, you know what I'm doing? I'm doing Battle of the Belts after Battle of the Belts is over. And Pac, more likely than not, is going to retain the All-Atlantic Championship over Orange Cassidy because they're setting up for another match down the road. So if we're going to get another match between Pac and Orange Cassidy, Pac wins. I am doing Pac versus Konosuke Takeshita sometime in October. You know what? I'm doing it on Tuesday Night Dynamite. I'm doing Tuesday Night Dynamite October 18th. You already got Moxley and Page. Give me Konosuke Takeshita and Pac for the All-Atlantic Championship and let them open the show. Take my fucking money there. That's what I'm doing. You give me Konosuke Takeshita back in the United States, and after Pac beats Cassidy at Battle of the Belts, Part 4, give me Pac and Takeshita on Tuesday Night Dynamite. That's what I'm doing. I cannot fucking wait. Konosuke Takeshita is an absolute fucking master of his craft, and I'm so happy that he's coming back. I got a report from Fightful regarding Malachi Black and his conditional release. In addition to Malachi Black, a source within WWE also said they heard that feelers were sent out to Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood of FTR. So Triple H, he seems to be doing a lot of contract tampering with the AEW stars. Listen, I love Triple H. Triple H is great. Triple H has always been great, and Triple H will forever be one of the greatest promoters of pro wrestling's modern era. He's going to go down as one of the greatest of all time, but contract tampering, I'm sorry. I can't get behind that. That's not the right way to go about it. I understand you want these guys back, but at the end of the fucking day, they found a new home. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. They got a new home, and they got plenty more to give to that new home. I'm not saying that AEW necessarily needs them or they need AEW, but at the end of the fucking day, Hunter, this is just the way the cookie crumbles. crumbles. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to get everybody back. Work with what you have, and hopefully, we will continue to see a better product. So far, we've seen a great product. We've seen an excellent product thus far, minus NXT, because NXT sucks. NXT sucks. Outside of a few individuals here and there. I still don't fucking know why they had Solo Sikoa relinquish the NXT North American Championship. Fucking stupid. Fucking stupid. He should have done double duty. He should have remained on Raw, on SmackDown with the Bloodline as the North American Champion, and there should be no fucking ladder match at NXT TakeOver Halloween Havoc on October 22nd. None. There should be none. Ridiculous. But as far as Triple H goes, listen, Hunter, I understand you want your guys back. I understand you want your boys back. I understand you want FTR to put on Match of the Year candidates with DIY again. Or Match of the Year candidates with the fucking Usos. Or the Street Profits. I get it. I get it. But I'm sorry. This is not the right way to go about it. Sorry. Contract tampering, can't get behind that. Sending feelers, can't really get behind that. FTR right now, they're on the run of their career. And more likely than not, within the next 5 to 6 months, they're probably going to win the AEW World Tag Team Championships, and they're going to hold 4 sets of tag team titles. I don't think that Dax and Cash are really unhappy with what they've been doing, especially considering they've pretty much been beating a who's who of tag team wrestling throughout the course of history. They've beaten legitimately every major influential tag team throughout the course of pro wrestling history this year alone. The Young Bucks, the Briscoes, United Empire, the Motor City Machine Guns, Roppongi Vice. Beat them all. They've legitimately beaten them all. Ridiculous. Then people, and look at Dax. Dax is in line to be Pro Wrestler of the fucking year. Yet you're telling me that FTR would really want to drop everything and go back to WWE? Sorry, Triple H. People may love you, but that's not really how it works. Cut the shit with the contract tampering, Hunter. Speaking of Hunter, these next 2 reports, they don't really go together, but I'm going to put them together anyway because I want to emphasize the fact that even though it's a new regime, the more things change, the more things stay the same. Dave Meltzer, he opened up as to why, people have been asking why WWE has booked Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel. Dave Meltzer talked about this. He stated, and I quote, "He's a big deal in Saudi Arabia. He's a big deal in the Saudi Arabian, he's a big deal in the Saudi Arabian market and to the Saudi Arabian prince. And that's the whole thing of these shows. Tickets in Saudi Arabia mean nothing. It's not even part of the game. Of course, TV numbers, whatever. If he draws younger viewers, that's good, but it's not a play or a ploy for TV ratings. It is a ploy because the prince wants a celebrity fight in Saudi Arabia to build the name in the media of Saudi Arabia. And Logan Paul will get more of that type of press that Saudi Arabia is looking for more than a Kevin Owens or Seth Rollins. That's what Saudi Arabia is there for." End quote. So it's really starting to come together now. I don't like it, but I understand it simply because of the fact that Triple H, he didn't want to do this. I can almost bet my life that Triple H didn't want to do this. He's only doing this because the prince wants it. Can't really do too much. The Saudi Arabian prince wants it. The Saudi Arabian prince is going to get it. They're stuck in this deal for the next 6 years. It's a 10-year fucking deal. They're stuck in this deal. 2 shows a year for 10 years. Can't really do too much about it. So Triple H needs to bend over backwards for the prince, or else they're backing out of this deal. Company's got to make money. Unfortunately, Vince McMahon signed this deal. Vince McMahon, he doesn't care, but Triple H cares. Triple H cares, and unfortunately, this is what he has to do. It sucks. It really does suck. But this is what he has to do. Now, the next report is the confirmation of War Games. Now, before I say what I'm going to say, before what is said here by yours truly, I don't want you to misconstrue anything here. I don't want you to misconstrue anything. I don't want you to take anything out of context. I don't want you to think that I'm complaining just to complain, because I'm not. I am extremely excited for War Games. I really am. I'm extremely excited for War Games because this is exactly what Survivor Series has needed for years. Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard killed the Survivor Series concept and made it fucking lame. They made it lame with their lack of creativity, their lack of care, and their lack of care to build up new stars, their failure to push the younger generation, constantly always relying on the names of the past. Constantly. They fail to build up the youth. They fail to. And it's because of that Survivor Series has pretty much been left to the wayside. Survivor Series has pretty much become the least important of the big four pay-per-views. Extreme Rules, some years, has been better than Survivor Series. A fucking Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. A fucking Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Some gimmick pay-per-views have actually been better than Survivor Series some years. Seriously. Fucking No Mercy 1 year. Fucking No Mercy in 2016 was better than Survivor Series of that year. Now that we got War Games, this gives Survivor Series a new purpose. This gives Survivor Series a completely new lease on life. But the one thing that I have a problem with, and the one thing that I noticed here, Triple H confirmed this in an interview. In a random-ass interview. Just out of the blue. And then WWE announced it on their Twitter page. Don't you find that a little odd? Don't you find that a little odd? Why did he do that? Why exactly did Triple H just randomly announce the show is having War Games in a random-ass interview? Don't you think that that's something that he would rather save for a Monday Night Raw or a SmackDown? I remember when NXT first got War Games. It was 2017, and we had the Undisputed Era in there. We had Sanity in there. We had Roderick Strong and the Authors of Pain. And all they did was fucking brawl and brawl and brawl and brawl and brawl. And everything was reaching a fever pitch. Every one of these individuals were at odds. William Regal came out, broke up the brawl, and he said, I'm bringing back this match. It's so brutal. It hasn't been seen in over 20 years. You all will compete in 2 rings, in 1 cage, in War Games. And the way that he just said it just fucking resonated. It just resonated through everyone. Brilliant. That right there happened on a random episode of NXT. Now, it wasn't really random because every NXT episode had purpose, but it happened on an episode of NXT on the WWE Network when it was 1 hour. There was no interview. There was no question regarding a pay-per-view or what are you going to do for this show? What are you going to do for that show? Blah, 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 blah. It happened on a weekly TV show, and it made the show feel important. Don't you think it would have had a bigger impact if Adam Pearce came out on a Raw or on a SmackDown with Bayley and Damage Control brawling with Bianca and her posse, or the Bloodline brawling with Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens and the Street Profits and those individuals? Don't you think it would have been a little bit more impactful if Adam Pearce came out, broke up the brawl, and announced, we're going to do War Games? Why didn't Triple H do that? What happened and the timing of this announcement is not a coincidence, people. Triple H deliberately did this to sway the fans' attention from Roman Reigns and Logan Paul. Triple H was getting his asshole ripped. He was getting his asshole ripped to shreds by the entire fan base, or at least the majority of the fan base, because this time the majority of the fan base decided to be smart. Most of the time, they're a bunch of fucking retards. That's why I don't respect anybody. But regardless of that, that's another conversation for another time. Triple H was getting ripped a new asshole by the entire internet wrestling community. So what does Triple H do? Legitimately, 2 days after they had the press conference with Logan Paul and Roman Reigns, what happens? Triple H announces War Games to turn the fans' attention away from Logan Paul and Roman Reigns. He did this deliberately. It was by design. When it comes to stuff like this, everything that WWE does is by design. Doesn't matter if it's Triple H or Bruce Pritchard or Vince McMahon. Everything they do is by design. Every positive thing has a little asterisk or a little quotation around it. Something that gives you a hint that, yeah, this is not as genuine as you think. Triple H deliberately announced it in a random-ass interview because he wanted to take some of that negative backlash off of his ass, because Roman Reigns and Logan Paul in that rumored main event, that confirmed now main event for Crown Jewel, was getting destroyed. I still love Triple H, but I need to call him out when he deserves to be called out. Those are all your news, rumors, and reports for now. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you sticking by me, and you guys have been great thus far. We have plenty more to come. We have plenty more to talk about. We're going to talk about 3 weekly shows. We'll talk about Raw, SmackDown, and Grand Slam Rampage. We'll have a lot to discuss, and we are going to get into that right now. Please make sure, if you haven't already done so, please make sure you are liking the stream. Please make sure you like the stream and you share out the stream on all platforms of social media. Please, if you're in my channel, please go and like the stream in my channel and then migrate over to the Hardcore Sports channel. Like it on the Hardcore Sports channel. But if you're watching on the Hardcore Sports channel, please make sure you like it there and then migrate over to my channel and like it over there. It is incredibly vital that you do so. Helps me out, helps the channel out, helps everyone out here at Hardcore Sports. Because Hardcore Sports, it is the place to be for all analytical sport dissection and conversation. Monday Night Raw. This was a very good show. Very, very, very good show. We had a couple of lackluster Monday Night Raws the last couple weeks, but Triple H, he decided to rev things up. And Extreme Rules is looking very, very nice. We have 4 confirmed matches, and every single one of them have stipulations. Extreme Rules, if they want it to be, with all the stipulations that they got, if they want it to be, Extreme Rules could be better than Crown Jewel. Who knows? But Extreme Rules, looking very nice. 4 matches. It could easily be better than Clash at the Castle if they want it to be. It's going to be very, very interesting. This is probably the first time in a long, long time that I've ever been excited about an Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Should be good. Show kicked off with Seth Rollins and Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship. Not really sure why Rollins and Lashley kicked off the show. If anything, they should have closed the show. But nevertheless, this was a great match. And the United States Championship, this is the most important that the United States Championship has felt since John Cena last had it in 2015. And Triple H has done a great job putting a very nice focus on the United States Championship. Bobby Lashley has done a very good job. He's been putting on some of the best matches of his career as we speak, and I am very, very happy that Bobby Lashley is finally getting the shine and the exposure that he deserves. This is probably the best Bobby Lashley that we've seen. And on the flip side, Seth Rollins, he is right up there with Bobby Lashley. Maybe even above. He's above Bobby Lashley. Seth Rollins right now, if you want to take a look at an MVP for WWE, you could say Sheamus, which would be accurate. You could say Matt Riddle. He's up there. say Drew McIntyre. You could say a Sami Zayn, a Kevin Owens. Rollins is definitely in that conversation. Rollins and Dean Ambrose or Jon Moxley, those two former Shield members, they are right now two of the biggest MVPs of 2022 for pro wrestling, especially Seth Rollins for WWE. He has gotten so many great over. He's put over Lashley. He's put over Roman Reigns. He's helped put over Cody Rhodes 3 times. He has done a great job this entire year. And I'm very, very pleased with what Seth Rollins is doing. Rollins, right now, he may be a heel. He may be a heel, but he's doing such good work that the fans are taking to him. I don't know about you, but I do think that if they really want to revisit a Rollins babyface run with the character that he plays, he doesn't need to be a full-on shaking hands and smiling babyface. He doesn't have to do that. But I mean, if you want to revisit 2018 Seth Rollins with this new gimmick, just have him be a little bit more flamboyant with the dancing and shit, you could absolutely do that. The fans are fucking taking to Rollins like flies to shit. Really. This was a great match. So Rollins used his quickness against Lashley early on. Rollins went for a stomp, but Lashley planted his hands into the mat and powered out of it himself. Rollins then targeted the arm of Lashley. He had a sling blade for a 2, springboard knee for a 2. Lashley with a one-armed power bomb. Rollins came back with 2 suicide dives. Lashley then sent Rollins headfirst into the post. Coming back from commercial, Lashley with a TKO, that got a 2. Rollins then with a buckle bomb and a frog splash for a 2 count. Rollins continued the assault on Lashley before Lashley came back with a running power slam. Rollins countered the spear into the pedigree, which looked great. Excellent counter. Lashley kicked out. Lashley then locked in the hurt lock. Rollins tried to flip out of it, which he did. Lashley kept it locked on. Low blow behind the referee's back. Rollins kicked Bobby Lashley right in the testicles behind the referee's back. All of a sudden, Riddle's music plays. He ran out there, but he did not go into the ring. He distracted Rollins, allowing Lashley to hit a spear. Lashley retains the United States Championship. Absolutely the right outcome. Lashley continues his reign as champion, and Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle continue their feud, which is going to result in a fight pit. A fight pit at Extreme Rules. I like it. I like it very much. I could absolutely see that match and end up being the entire show stealer. Excellent. Damage Control. Damage Control came out for their championship celebration. Bayley was driving a fancy-looking go-kart. We had fireworks and streamers go off. So they were also in Bayley's hometown, so she didn't really care. She was shitting on San Jose. She hyped up Dakota Kai and Io Sky. Kai said that they don't need Bianca, Alexa, or Asuka. Bianca's been phoning it in, and now all you can do is pack it up and go home. Bianca, Alexa, and Asuka then came out. They intended on teaching the 3 of them some respect. Bayley then trashed Alexa. She trashed Alexa and Asuka for being Bianca's accessories. She called Alexa a shell of the old Alexa. I mean, if that is not a shoot, I don't know what is. But let me tell you something. The old Alexa was not very good to begin with. She was decent towards the end of 2016, beginning of 2017, and then she just became shit. She forgot how to fucking wrestle. She don't know how to fucking take a bump. Alexa Bliss is terrible. She's a piss poor excuse for a pro wrestler. Don't like it, don't give a fuck, it's the truth, suck my dick. So Alexa then challenged Bayley to a match. Alexa then struck Bayley right in the face, and the baby faces ended up standing tall. Don't know why that match was the main event, because that match was fucking terrible. Easily the worst thing on the entire fucking show, but it was the main event. We got another great match with Austin Theory and Kevin Owens. And my God, I cannot be any happier that Kevin Owens is finally on the right track. And he's a babyface. Exactly what we needed. Kevin Owens, I said for months and months and months, Owens needed to be a babyface. And now you look at him, he is probably the biggest babyface act in the entire WWE. And I fucking love it. I love it. Exactly what we need. Keep it up. I'm very much enjoying what we are seeing here from Kevin Owens and Austin Theory. So Theory attacked Owens before the match even started, and he tossed him right into the barricade. Owens wanted to continue the match anyway. He went after Theory. Theory then bashed Owens' head off of the announce table and the steps. Theory then with a neck breaker to Owens on the floor. Coming back from commercial, Theory wore down Kevin Owens. Owens came back with a DDT and a big lariat. Theory with a forearm. Owens with a super kick and a swanton bomb. Theory ended up kicking out. After the swanton bomb, we had a big brawl. Owens went down off of a kick. We got a big brawl on the top rope. Theory ended up going down. Owens was caught with a forearm. Owens said, "I'm your daddy, bitch." And then he slapped Theory. We had a double jump moonsault by Kevin Owens. Beautifully done. But he missed. Double jump moonsault missed. We had a rolling blockbuster for a 2. Cross-legged knee drop brainbuster, but Owens kicked out again. Theory then went for his briefcase, but Johnny Gargano took it away from him. Owens then with a super kick and a cannonball into the corner. Pop-up powerbomb, and Owens wins. Owens continues to win. Afterwards, Gargano took the briefcase. He held it over Austin Theory and then dropped it right onto Austin Theory's balls. That seemed to be the theme in the first hour. Everyone was getting kicked in the testicles. Lashley got it, and then Theory got his briefcase dropped right on his baby makers. Not really sure why, but I don't know. Triple H had a fetish in the first hour. Looks like we are getting Austin Theory versus Johnny Gargano at Extreme Rules, and I have no problem with that because you know why? That match makes the show that much better, and that match is absolutely going to be a potential show-stealing match. Very, very much looking forward to Austin Theory versus Johnny Gargano. They showed highlights of how Roman Reigns and Logan Paul had their match confirmed for Crown Jewel. Who gives a fuck? From there, we went to the Brawling Brutes. This was Ridge Holland and Pete Dunne, a.k.a. Butch. Michael Cole, he was on commentary on SmackDown. He started calling Ridge Holland Ridge the Fridge. Now, I'm not sure if that's the first time that Michael Cole has said that, or if it's the first time that I've actually heard Michael Cole say that on commentary. Not really sure where that came from, but apparently that's what Sheamus calls Ridge Holland. Ridge the Fridge. So Ridge Holland and Butch came out. Butch screamed that it's fight night. Ridge vowed to win the titles, and he promised that they would be running the tag team division. Ridge Holland did not sound bad at all on the microphone. Street Profits then interrupted, and they hyped themselves up. Dawkins said that they haven't beaten them. Ridge told them to put their money where their mouths are. Ford said that he liked that idea because the Street Profits are up, and we want the smoke. So Ridge Holland, he's getting a little bit of mic time. I actually don't mind that at all because Ridge Holland is not a bad promo. Not the greatest, but when he speaks, he has a certain conviction about him. So we get this tag team match, Brawling Brutes and the Street Profits, a fresh tag team match. And this was actually a very solid match. This was a very solid match. So we get this very solid match here, and the Brawling Brutes ended up winning. But the main thing that I loved about this match is the fact that you could see that slowly but surely, Triple H is now trying to rejuvenate the tag team division. And this is part of that. The tag team division, slowly but surely, is being rejuvenated. It's exactly what we need. And I'm very pleased. I'm very, very pleased with that. So Ford, with a big crossbody on Ridge the Fridge, we had a series of kicks and strikes. Holland then with a lariat. Ford was isolated, coming back from commercial. Dawkins got the hot tag with a back elbow, stinger splash, and a silencer for a 2 count. We had Butch taking out Ford, tag to Butch. We had an enziguri on Dawkins. Ford saved it. Double clothesline on Ridge and Dawkins. Tag to Butch. Triangle by Butch. Tag to Ford. Powerbomb blockbuster combination. I thought that was it. Holland saved it. Dawkins pounced Butch and Holland. Tag to Ford. We had a big tope con hero onto the Brawling Brutes. Butch then snapped Ford's fingers. The snap. Snap of the fingers. Just like that. Popped them out of its joint. And we ended up seeing a Northern Lights bomb after a big enziguri by Butch, or the Northern Grit that Ridge Holland calls it, and the Brawling Brutes get the victory. And that was it. That was it. Very solid match. Brawling Brutes get the victory. And it looks like they are building up new tag teams, and they're slowly rejuvenating the tag team division. I like that. I very much like that. Keep that up. The Judgment Day. The Judgment Day. They came out. Rhea Ripley told everyone to settle down. She told everyone that we proved to everyone that the Judgment Day runs Monday Night Raw. Balor then called Dominic a great man and a brave man. Balor said that he stood up to his father. Priest said that he loves Dom. And he said that Edge is lying down sad and injured. Dominic then thanked Rhea Ripley for saying that she's proud of him. And I did not expect this. I don't think anyone expected this, but this was fucking great right here. The crowd did not allow Dominic to utter a fucking word. As soon as Dominic put the microphone to his mouth, they rained down a fucking shower of boos as if Dominic kicked a fucking kitten into the Grand Canyon. They booed Dominic Mysterio as if he threw an old woman into oncoming traffic. This heat was incredible. This heat was awesome. You know what this reminded me of? This reminded me of that night after WrestleMania 33, after Roman Reigns beat The Undertaker, and Roman Reigns came out and they were showering Roman in boos, saying, fuck you, Roman, and Roman sucks. This wasn't as bad. This wasn't as big as Roman Reigns' heat all the way back in the day, but it was eerie similar. That was actually when the Tribal Chief should have come to play. We shouldn't have had to wait 3.5 years later for Roman Reigns to turn heel. Roman should have turned heel right then and there. But Dominic's heat was awesome. This is exactly what we need. And this is exactly the type of reaction that I had a feeling they were hoping for. They booed the shit out of Dominic, so much so that they legitimately, it's almost like they legitimately wanted to see him beheaded on live TV. This heat was great. So he called the Judgment Day his real family. They took a family photo. Priest asked if everyone's having a good time before Riddle and Rey Mysterio interrupted. So we get a tag team match here. It was Matt Riddle and Rey Mysterio versus the Judgment Day. This is Finn Balor and Damian Priest. And this was a very, very good tag team match right here. Really, really, really good tag team match right here. The babyfaces were in control early on. Babyfaces were in decent control early on before Priest came in with a wicked, and I mean a wicked fucking lariat on Rey Mysterio. Big, wicked lariat on Rey Mysterio. Riddle came in. He had a ripcord on Balor, a Pele kick to Priest, exploder suplex to Balor, and a German suplex on Priest, Broton on Balor, and a PK for a 2. Priest then choke slammed Matt Riddle on the apron, which looked absolutely devastating. Fucking devastating. So coming back from commercial, we had Matt Riddle being isolated. He was at the mercy of the Judgment Day before he came back and he got the tag to Ray. Ray with a drop kick to Balor, a big seated senton, drop kick to Priest, and a springboard crossbody for a 2. Balor was down. We had Riddle coming in with a PK to Priest and a springboard floating bro. 619 to Balor. Rhea Ripley got involved. All of a sudden, Rollins attacked Riddle. Ray then chased Riddle off, and then Ray got a steel chair. Dominic came into play, and he wanted Rey Mysterio to hit him with the chair. Ray would not do it. Balor then came in with a sling blade, a tag to Priest, south of heaven, tag to Balor, coup de grace, and the Judgment Day win again. I love to see the Judgment Day is out here winning matches, and that's exactly why they're over, because they win matches. The more that they win matches, the better. Keep it up. Keep it up. So I'm not sure what is going to happen here, but I would like to believe that Edge is probably going to come back at some point. Maybe with what happened afterwards, later on in the show, we had Balor and AJ. They got into a little segment backstage, and it seems as though we could be looking at a potential 6-man tag team match happening at Crown Jewel. Maybe it's the Judgment Day versus Edge, Mysterio, and AJ Styles. I would not mind that match at all. Miz TV with the Miz and Ciampa. Miz, he talked about how Dexter Lumis, who's been stalking him, Lumis crossed the line when he went into his home. You don't step foot in my house uninvited. I was celebrating my daughter's 3rd birthday. It was a Minions-themed party, and I punched a Minion. All the children were crying, screaming, "You punched Stewart." Why me? I want you to come out here man-to-man, face-to-face. All of a sudden, Miz is talking. He's rambling to the crowd. You see a knife come up from underneath the ring, and someone is cutting the ring. He's cutting the ring, and all of a sudden, we fucking see a hand pop out, and then Dexter Lumis comes up from underneath the ring. He tries to grab the Miz and pull him down into the hole. Ciampa then came in, hit him with the microphone. Lumis then came up from the hole, and then the Miz and Ciampa got out of Dodge. I don't know where it's going, but I'm fucking entertained. Next week, we have 2 big matches. We got Matt Riddle versus Damian Priest, and we got the Alpha Academy versus Kevin Owens and Johnny Gargano. Take my money there. I am certainly down for that. Main event, Bayley versus Alexa Bliss. This was fucking terrible. Why? Because Alexa Bliss is fucking terrible. So what I go over is pretty much meaningless. All you need to know is that Bayley won with the Rose Plant. Damage Control attacked. We get a brawl. Damage Control was standing tall. Bianca then came in to attack Bayley and Damage Control, but they took over. Bayley hit the Rose Plant on Belair, took the mic and said, "I'm in control now, and I get what I want when I want it. And I want the Raw Women's title at Extreme Rules." I do believe that we will see a new Raw Women's Champion in Bayley. Why? Because Triple H, I have a feeling he's looking ahead towards WrestleMania, and we could be getting that WrestleMania match between Bayley and Sasha that we have yet to get. I would not be surprised if that is the direction that they're headed. And to be quite honest, there's a small part of me that actually wants them to do that. So I can absolutely see that happening. Now, what kind of match is it going to be? I don't necessarily know, but if I'm going to go out on a limb, I would love to see a last woman standing match. I would absolutely love to see a last woman standing match. I think that would be a great a great match for Bayley and Bianca Belair to go and fight in. It makes sense. It kind of fits the story because Bianca, she's been put down a lot by Bayley. So in terms of overcoming Bayley, I always get back up because I'm the EST. They could play that up. I definitely love to see this in a last woman standing match. That's just me. We get a very good episode of Monday Night Raw. Really solid stuff. SmackDown was also pretty solid. And we're going to go over SmackDown in just a little bit. Please, if you haven't already done so, please make sure you hit that like button. Hit the like button if you're watching on my channel. And then go over to the Hardcore Sports channel. Hit the like button over there. Let's talk about SmackDown. The Bloodline kicked off the show. All 6 of them. Roman, the Usos, Solo Sikoa, Sami Zayn, and Paul Heyman. Roman, he goes, Salt Lake City. Acknowledge me, says Mr. Reigns. Heyman, he talked about Solo Sikoa, saying that he was sent by the elders of the Samoan dynasty to help his tribal chief. Jimmy then hyped up their tag team match later on with the Brawling Brutes. Roman then took the mic and he told Solo that he answers to him. Solo then told Roman that he acknowledges him as his tribal chief, and they hug. Sami then took the mic, and the Bloodline was kind of confused. All of a sudden, the crowd was getting hyped up. Sami then said, out of gratitude, I would also like to publicly acknowledge you, my tribal chief. Roman then took the mic and he goes, Sami, I like you. But why are you talking? Why are you talking right now? Roman then asks, Sami, why are you wearing a Bloodline shirt? I want you to take that shirt off. And then Jay, this was fucking great. Jay was getting all hyped up. He was getting ready. He was like, oh my God, we're finally going to kick him out. We're finally going to kick this schmuck out of the Bloodline. Jay was like, take it off. All of a sudden, Roman, he told Sami that I never want you to wear that shirt again. Jay rips Sami's shirt off. So Sami is shirtless. Jay is getting ready to pounce. He's like a fucking rabid dog. Roman goes, I never want to see you wearing that shirt again because I got you a new one. Sami Zayn, his facial expressions throughout this were fucking great. So Roman says he got Sami Zayn a new shirt. He tossed the shirt at Zayn and it said SZ Honorary Us. So Sami Zayn, he's getting all hyped up. Jimmy Uso's getting happy for him. They do the little handshake that they got going on. He hugs Solo. Solo's smiling at him. And then Roman goes, hey, you got something to say? Is there anything you want to say? And then Sami goes, yes, I acknowledge you, my tribal chief. They hug, and Jey Uso, this was great. Jey Uso in the corner was sitting there pissed. Sitting there pissed. I love it. I don't know why. I don't know how. But I can't help but tell you that this was great. This is awesome. Sami Zayn and the Bloodline, as stupid as it may seem, as odd as it may sound, it works. And I've been very vocal about Sami Zayn. I've said it over and over and over again. I've said that heel Sami Zayn sucks. Sami does not need to be a heel. Sami, just like Owens, needs to be babyface. But holy shit, his chemistry with the Bloodline is fucking amazing. Absolutely fucking amazing. You know what it reminds me of? It legitimately reminds me of Billy Gunn and the Acclaimed. I don't know why, I don't know how, but that shit worked. Who would have fucking thought? Lacey Evans versus Liv Morgan. The match meant nothing. Lacey Evans sucks. Liv Morgan wins with Oblivion. The main thing that happened here was what happened afterwards. Morgan took a kendo stick and she started beating Lacey Evans with it. She then sent Lacey Evans neck first into the barricade. She got a table. She placed Lacey on the table, and then all of a sudden, she delivered a diving senton off of the post through the table, which looked great to Lacey Evans. Now, that was great. That was very, very, very well done. And obviously, this was simply done because they're trying, even though it's not going to work, they're trying to make it seem like she's believable in this match against Ronda, but we all know that Ronda's going to absolutely fucking kick her ass. Ronda's going to absolutely castrate Liv Morgan. She is. She absolutely is. Ronda needs to win, and then Ronda forms with Shayna, and we get the build towards that match. That's what I'm looking for. So from there, we go into New Day versus Maximum Male Models. Woods won with a roll-up on Mansoor. And afterwards, Max Dupree then stormed off. He was pissed that they were losing. And that was pretty much that. And it seems as though Maximum Male Models could be ending very, very soon. Which I hope is the fucking case because Maximum Male Models sucks. Otis with Chad Gable. Shoosh. A shoosh, please. Thank you. Otis versus Braun Strowman, the monster of all monsters. I've been a big detractor of Braun Strowman, as has many people, rightfully so, because Braun Strowman, for the majority of his WWE run, has been a complete fucking flop. For multiple reasons. Number one, obviously, is because of creative booking. Number two is because of himself. But I'm not going to lie to you here. This was actually a very fun match to watch. I don't know what it was, but him and Otis just worked together very, very well. This was a very, very fun match to watch. They gelled very, very well together. And Strowman, it seemed like Strowman, he was moving a little bit better in the ring. He was a little more fluid in the ring. He wasn't as stiff. He wasn't as... It's tough for me to put it. He wasn't as reckless as he usually is. He was a lot more fluid. He took care of Otis. And him and Otis, they matched up very well together. And the crowd reciprocated that. So Strowman, he bealed Otis early on and then gave him a drop kick. Otis was sent to the ringside apron. Otis then took over, sending Strowman into the barricade, and then he picked him up, sent him back first into the post. Back in the ring, we had a big discus lariat for only a 1 count. Strowman came back with a spine buster. He then pounced Strowman. He pounced Otis and Gable, sending Otis over the announce table, which looked great. That looked awesome. So from there, we saw Gable trying to grab Braun Strowman's leg. All of a sudden, he threw Strowman into the timekeeper's area. Back in the ring, Otis with a world's strongest slam on Strowman. Strowman kicked out. Otis then delivered a Vader bomb. Otis did not get the 3 count. Strowman kicked out again. All of a sudden, Otis, he went up to the middle rope. He went up for that diving splash that he usually does. The big alpha splash, right? Braun moved. Braun Strowman, for the second week in a row, delivers a brilliant looking powerbomb to Otis. And it was not a botchy powerbomb at all. It was a very simple, straightforward, very nicely done powerbomb. And Braun Strowman gets the 1-2-3 victory in what was a very fun match. Something that I did not expect at all. So props. Props to those two. Props to Strowman. Props to Strowman for being somewhat okay. Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, he came out to address Mr. Karrion Kross. He came out with a strap, a leather strap. He wanted Kross to come out and face him like a man. I went straight to the top, and you'll have your first big match at Extreme Rules against Drew McIntyre. It's a match that is designed to inflict maximum pain. It is a strap match. Scarlett then came down the ramp. Kross then came up from behind Drew. Drew then took it to Kross. He took the strap, strapped Kross to him, and then he started whipping Kross with the strap. He started whipping him with the strap. We had a big boot to Kross. Drew then whipped Kross with the strap. Scarlett then got involved. She tried to plead with McIntyre. She threw a fireball in Drew's eyes and then gave him a low blow. Kross then smiled and walked away. This was great. And then he came back. He came back, locked in the cross jacket on Drew, and Drew passed out. Excellent. Strap match? Take my money. Take my money. I like it. I very much like it. And they're going to beat the shit out of each other with that strap. Drew and Kross, two big horses in a strap match. Take my money there. I got no issue with that. Raquel Rodriguez versus Dakota Kai. This was terrible. Shotzi got involved, took out Bayley and Io Sky. Raquel rolled up Kai for a win within 2 minutes. This was terrible. Terrible treatment of Damage Control. And this all resulted in Shotzi and Bayley getting booked for next week, which should be fine. Madcap Moss and Ricochet versus Solo Sikoa and Sami Zayn is also booked for next week. And then in 2 weeks on the SmackDown season premiere, it is Sheamus and Gunther, part number 2 for the Intercontinental Championship. You ain't gonna tell me twice to watch that match. And in the main event, if you haven't seen this main event, what I tell you will not do it any justice. The Usos and the Brawling Brutes for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. Excellent fucking match from start to finish. The Usos get the win. They continue their reign as the tag team champions, but the important thing here is new tag teams, new, fresh tag teams are starting to gain exposure. Love it. Love it. Exactly what needs to happen. Hope you guys are having a good time, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream thus far. We are going to get into our final show, which was Rampage Grand Slam. Please make sure, if you haven't already done so, like the stream on my channel, and then go and like it over at the Hardcore Sports channel. Please do. It's vital that you do so. We're going to talk about Rampage Grand Slam. Here's what I will say on it. Was it the best Rampage of the year? Yes, absolutely. Did it show everyone why Rampage needs to be 2 hours? Yes, absolutely. However, there was too much fucking shit in the show. I'm sorry. Too much fucking shit packed into one show. We did not need all of this shit packed into the show. There was 8 matches on this show. 8 matches on this show. And the flow of the show, it just felt boom, 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 lightning quick. Nothing had any time to just sink in. Everything was done way too fucking quickly. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Tony Khan, I love Tony Khan, love what he's done, but Tony Khan he fucking needs to understand that he does not need to put 8 fucking matches on the show. A 2-hour show should be 5 matches at most. 5. If you're going to do a 1-hour Rampage 1 hour needs to be a 3-match card. period, no matter what. Not 4, not 5, not anything. 2 hours, 5 matches. 1 hour, 3 matches. Tony Khan needs to get that down immediately because this shit, the overloading of the show, it just ain't fucking working. Not to say it was a bad show, because it was not a bad show at all. It wasn't. It was easily the best Rampage of the year, and it showed why Rampage needs to be 2 hours. But it did not, and I mean it did not need 8 fucking matches. Terrible, terrible creative move right there. I saw it live, and I did not spoil it for anyone, so I decided to watch it again. Darby Allin and Sting versus the House of Black. They kicked off the show in a no DQ match. The fight started immediately. The House of Black took over. They shoved Sting off of the top rope through 2 tables. One table broke. The other table, Sting hit the back of his head on. 63 years old, still taking these bumps. Unfucking believable. So Sting was then out. He was out on his feet. The House of Black then handcuffed him. Darby was then isolated by the House of Black. Darby then with a coffin drop off of the tunnel, off of one of the tunnels, I believe it was the left tunnel, Darby with a coffin drop off of the fucking tunnel. Off of the tunnel onto Buddy Matthews. Brody King then tried to choke out Darby Allin. Darby sent himself and King crashing over the stage through 2 tables and all sorts of electrical wiring and shit. That looked fucking nasty. So back in the ring, Buddy took Sting's baseball bat. He sat Sting down in a chair. Sting was fucking laughing at him. All of a sudden, the lights went out, and the Great Muta, yes, the Great Muta, who was on the last run of his in-ring career, the Great Muta came out, sprayed green mist in the eyes of Buddy Matthews. Julia Hart fell off the apron, completely missing the table and hitting her head on the barricade. Looked fucking nasty. Sting then broke the handcuffs, and Sting then delivered a Scorpion Death Drop to beat Buddy Matthews and win the match for him and his partner Darby Allin. House of Black losing, I cannot get behind that. Absolutely an unnecessary decision. House of Black should have easily won this match. No need for Darby and Sting to win this match. They are already as over as hell. But seeing the Great Muta, nice surprise, and the match itself was very fun. Stupid that the fucking House of Black lost, but still a very fun match nonetheless. Very fun match to kick off the show. Afterwards, we go into Hook. Hook! Where are the hookers at? Hook and Action Bronson. They took on 2.0. Action Bronson, he wrapped Hook to the ring. I actually expected a lot worse here, but Action Bronson did not look bad at all. He lost a lot of weight. He was once 400 pounds. He lost over 120 pounds over a couple years ago. He lost over 120 pounds. He took kickboxing. He took jiu-jitsu as well. He was moving great. Action Bronson was actually moving like he was a fucking cruiserweight. He was moving very well. He was doing shoulder tackles. He did a double body avalanche in the corner. He tagged in Hook. Hook with a bow and arrow stretch. 2.0 then took over. 2.0 then took over. They isolated Hook. Hook came back with an exploder suplex and a tag to Action Bronson. Action Bronson with a couple of lariats. A running power slam on Angelo Parker. And then he delivered a big shoulder tackle. Tag back to Hook. Tag back to Hook. Hook with a fisherman suplex. And then they locked in a double red rum. 2.0 tapped out. It's a pretty decent little match right here. So props to Action Bronson. Action Bronson looked very good. So props to him. Josh Woods. Josh Woods and Tony Nese, they took on Wardlow and Samoa Joe. This was as quick as you could get. Wardlow clotheslined Woods over the top rope, and he was out for the rest of the match. Nese tried to take it to Joe. Joe wasted no time. He hit a Uranagi and a muscle buster to win the match. Afterwards, Wardlow came in. It looked like he was hobbling a little bit, but then as time went on, it looked like he seemed to be fine. Wardlow came in. He was going to powerbomb Nese, but Sterling came in to hit him with the title belt. It had no effect on him because he's fucking Wardlow. Wardlow then took it to Sterling. He powerbombed, symphonied Sterling. He delivered 3 power bombs, and Sterling was out completely with Joe standing tall. Pretty much an in-and-out type of match. This match did not need to be on the show at all. They were better off taking this match off the show completely. And to be quite honest, I wish that they did. I don't know where Wardlow's going to fit into this, but I don't know. Could we see Wardlow and Samoa Joe title for title? I don't know. But if you're asking me, based on what happened in the next match, I have a perfect option for Wardlow after what happened in the next match. The next match, it was Jungle Boy versus Rey Fenix. This was an excellent match. Some people could say that this was probably the best match on the entire Rampage card. Both men traded strikes back and forth. Coming back from commercial, Jungle Boy mounted a comeback with a nice comebacker lariat, suicide dive, super kick, and a poison Rana. Phoenix came back with a cutter, and both men were down. Jungle Boy then with a Hurricane Rana pin for a 2. Both men were out on the apron. Phoenix went for a rolling cutter. Jungle Boy with a super kick in midair. Coming back from a second commercial, Phoenix and Jungle Boy traded strikes after strike and kicks and punches. Jungle Boy was caught with a gory cutter. We had a slingshot sunset flip powerbomb on Phoenix for a 2. Phoenix with a super kick. He went for the 3 amigos. Jungle Boy rolled through. Samoan driver for a 2. Phoenix then came back with a beautiful frog splash. Jungle Boy kicked out. Jungle Boy then with a roll through into a cradle, and Jungle Boy gets the 1-2-3 victory. Jungle Boy gets a win over Rey Fenix. Jungle Boy's continuing his momentum, and Jungle Boy is really building himself up as a top-tier babyface. Really happy to see that from Jungle Boy. All of a sudden, Christian Cage comes out. Christian Cage comes out with his arm in a sling. He brings out Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus just completely drops Jungle Boy. Christian told New York to sit down and do nothing like the bitches that they are. He told Jungle Boy not to show up at next week's Dynamite, and then Luchasaurus gave him one final choke slam. If you're asking me, the best route to go here, I would absolutely insert Wardlow into the storyline. Why? Because that would plant the seeds for a Wardlow versus Luchasaurus match for the TNT Championship. And that's a money match that I want to fucking see. Eddie Kingston and Sammy Guevara. We had another very fun match here on Rampage. Another match that should have stayed on the show, but you could have given it more time if you took Josh Woods and Tony Nese versus Wardlow and Samoa Joe off the show. So Kingston, he stood in the ring. Sammy took the mic, and he apologized to Eddie before calling him a fat piece of shit. Gotta love Sammy. So Kingston, he just completely lost it. He started to beat the shit out of Sammy. He was raking his eyes. Kingston then got back body dropped off the apron to the floor, which looked brutal. Coming back from commercial, Kingston mounted a comeback. Sammy came in with a V-trigger. Sammy with a nice springboard cutter. Kingston kicked out. Kingston then with a lariat. We had some machine gun chops in the corner. Sammy with another cutter attempt, but Kingston caught him with a backdrop driver. Big knee by Sammy. Super kick connects. Kingston with the half and half suplex. Sammy He got caught with 3 spinning back fists, 3 Orikins, and then Kingston locked in the stretch plum. Sami passed out, but Kingston would not let it go, which resulted in referee Paul Turner inevitably reversing his decision, giving Sami the win via DQ. I actually don't mind this match. I don't mind this match at all because it kind of protects both guys. It protects Sami and it does protect Eddie because we all know that Eddie rightfully won this match and he got fucked over. This is going to lead to another match between the two, which could take place. This could very well take place on Tuesday Night Dynamite. They're going to build up Tuesday Night Dynamite to be a big fucking show. This could very well take place on Tuesday Night Dynamite, and we could end up seeing Kingston and Sami in a, I don't know, maybe some type of stipulation match, maybe a no DQ match, no rules match. I wouldn't mind it. So I didn't necessarily mind this decision. Diamante versus Jade Cargill. This was for the TBS Championship. Another match that did not need to be on the show. Don't know why it was on the fucking show. This was nothing more than a showcase match for Jade Cargill. Diamante tried to kick Jade Cargill's leg out from underneath her. Couple of roll-ups. Jade with a punt kick. Diamante then tried to regain control. She jumped off the middle rope to the floor. Jade caught her. She stumbled a little bit, but Jade caught her in midair, carried her to the apron. Jade put her on her shoulders, and she F5'd her on the apron, which actually looked very nice. Jade then hit Jaded in the middle of the ring, and that's it. Jade Cargill retains the TBS Championship. Did not need to be on the show. Don't know why it was on the show. Golden Ticket Battle Royal. Winner faces Jon Moxley for the World Championship. This wasn't a bad match at all. Matter of fact, the finalists actually had a great back and forth. Archer was in there, Lethal was in there, John Silver was in there, Penta was in there, Adam Page was in there. So, skipping ahead to the end here. Brian Cage was in there as well, Jake Hager. Dalton Castle was in there as well. He was very fucking over. Dalton Castle was very over. So Matt Hardy and Private Party, they had a little reunion in the Battle Royal as well. So in the end, John Silver, he got eliminated by Roosh. We had Penta eliminating Archer. Lethal with the lethal injection. He eliminated Penta. And Adam Page with the buckshot lariat eliminated Lethal. We were down to Adam Page and Roosh, which is a great thing to see. I actually want to see an Adam Page versus Roosh match at some point down the line. I mean, you can give me that any fucking day of the week. So they had a very nice back and forth. Both men then went out on the apron. Roosh was looking for a pile driver on the apron. Page countered into a deadeye, and Adam Page gets the 1-2-3, or not the 1-2-3, gets the elimination of Roosh, and Adam Page wins the Golden Ticket Battle Royal. Adam Page is going to Dynamite on Tuesday, October 18th, to fight Jon Moxley for the World Championship. People are wondering why this took place. I'll tell you why this took place. This was the right outcome because a Tuesday Night Dynamite, this is a special Dynamite. This is a very special Dynamite. So in the end, Tony Khan wants to build this show up. He wants to build this show up to be as important as he could possibly bring it to be. He wants it to feel important. He wants it to feel must-see, which I completely understand. It's simple. He wants it to feel must-see. He wants it to feel important. If Tony Khan wants a Tuesday Night Dynamite to feel as important as a regular Dynamite, and he knows that people could be confused by the fact that it's Tuesday and they're not in their normal time slot on Wednesday, this is going to prompt Tony Khan to put a big match on the show. And Adam Page versus Jon Moxley, we've never seen that match before. That's the one match. That's one of the big money matches that AEW has not done yet. So now we're getting this match. I mean, I don't understand why anyone's complaining about this. Adam Page, he's still in a high priority role. He's still fighting for world championships where he should be. He should be at the top of the card. Adam Page is a guy that should be at the top of the card no matter what because of how good he really is. His work ethic is excellent. Page should be at the top of the card. And we've never seen this match before. This is a fresh matchup. This is a match that has never been done. This is a pay-per-view worthy matchup being given away for free on TV on October 18th, Tuesday Night Dynamite. And people are complaining. Sometimes I really don't get people. And people want to wonder why I call everyone fucking retards. Because it's true. Everyone, minus me and the people that associate with me, everyone's a fucking retard. Everybody. I'm getting all worked up here. We're about to end it. Holy shit, we're actually ending it pretty early. Barely an hour and 40 minutes. Not even. But we're going to end this a little bit early because that's all I got for you. Ricky Starks, and Powerhouse Hobbs. This was the main event. This was a lights out match. This was very good for what it was. Very good for what it was. But again, this match could have gotten a lot more time if you had taken other matches off of the card. Why did we need Wardlow versus Tony Nese and Josh Woods? Why did we need Diamante versus Jade Cargill? Stupid. So this was a lights out match. So they went right on the attack. Hobbs was sent into the steps. Hobbs then with a knee drop neck breaker. Hobbs then brought in a table, dropped it right on Starks. He brought in chairs as well. Coming back for commercial, Ricky whipped Hobbs with a strap. Hobbs then hit Starks with a chair. Starks was in a power slam position. He was set neck first into a chair that was propped up in one corner. Hobbs was going to do it again because there was another chair that was set up in the other corner. Ricky Starks got out and pushed Hobbs headfirst into that chair. Hobbs was then caught with a tornado DDT. That got a 2 count. Hobbs with a low blow. He set up the chairs facing each other. Starks hit a low blow. He was going for the Rochambeau on the chairs. And here's the thing. The Rochambeau, it was back to back. Back to back. So Starks went for the Rochambeau onto chairs that were set up back to back. Hobbs was in a position to get Rochambeau onto the chairs. Hobbs back body dropped Starks back first onto the chairs, and the chairs did not buckle. It looked fucking brutal. That could not have felt good for Ricky Starks at all. So they brawled onto the ramp. Starks was then sent headfirst into the light tunnel. Hobbs, I've never seen this before. Hobbs then pulled out a light fixture, an LED fixture from the tunnel. Sparks were flying everywhere. He then put it over his shoulder as if he was fucking Negan from The Walking Dead. I don't watch The Walking Dead, but I know who Negan is. He's holding it over his head like he's getting ready to go up to bat in the bullpen. He then goes to hit Starks with it. Starks dodged it. Starks then spears Hobbs through a table, propped up into a corner. Ricky Starks takes the light fixture, hits Hobbs in the head with it, and then hits the Rochambeau, and Starks wins it. Starks gets a much-needed win over Hobbs, much better than their match at All Out. And for those of you wondering why they did the squash match at All Out, it's because they wanted to establish Powerhouse Hobbs as a dominant figure. They wanted to make everyone aware that Powerhouse Hobbs is someone to be taken seriously, and they're trying to build him up as a monster. Or as Powerhouse Hobbs calls himself, the Monstar. Ricky Starks with a much-needed win. Whether or not it counts on the records is irrelevant. Starks with a much-needed win. Hobbs will be absolutely fine. Hobbs is going to be built up to take the title off of Wardlow, and Starks is inevitably going to be built up to fight Pac, potentially for the All-Atlantic Championship. Good show. Easily the best Rampage of the year, but it did not need to have 8 matches, and Tony Khan really needs to get a grip on himself and understand that the more matches that you put on a show, the worse the show is going to be. Because you cannot, and I mean you cannot get your point across with all of these matches in such a short period of time. Does not need to be. I'm sorry, it doesn't. Still a good show. Did not need to be 8 matches. For the love of God, Rampage, 2 hours. It needs to be 5 matches. 5 matches, 2-hour shows. 3 matches, 1-hour shows. Simple as that. Simple as that. I'd like to hope that people will understand over time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got. That's all I got. It was a quick one today, but I greatly appreciate every single one of you who tuned into the stream today. Thank you all. Thank you to Dee Dee. Thank you to Danielle Wolf, DJ Sums, Jeffrey Turner. Thank you to Jess and her husband, Roman. Thank you all. You guys have been great. You guys have been great. If you guys are just joining in, you missed the stream, go back to the beginning and rewatch it. We talk about a lot of good news and rumors. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, I have a vlog going up of my time at the Grand Slam event. That was on Wednesday, this past Wednesday, September 21st. Go check that out. I was there at the Grand Slam event, and it was a damn good show. Damn good show overall. My vlog video goes up tomorrow, 3 p.m. Next week, I also have a vlog video coming up for the ISPW. The ISPW King of the Ring tournament. That vlog is going to go up next Wednesday. I would say probably around 7:30, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, since, why the hell not? I probably 7-ish. But keep your eyes peeled for that. Next month's going to be a busy month. On October 6th at 7:30. October 6th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm going to be live. Thursday, October 6th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, for the rundown for Battle of the Belts 2 and Extreme Rules. Both events are taking place on the same day, which is quite shocking, but nevertheless, I will be live. I will be live on Thursday evening to dissect that. I'm going to see who I can get on my show as my guest to help me dissect all the matches going down. We got the LFU on that Saturday, and then on that following Sunday, on October 9th, it's the Rewind. That's right, the Rewind for Battle of the Belts and Extreme Rules. So please do not forget to check that out. It's going to be great. And then on October 13th, I'm back on the Wrestling Experience, baby. Earl Cole, baby, and myself are going live on October 13th to discuss Dynamite once again on his Dynamite wrap-up show over on his channel. Check out all the links in the description. Subscribe to Hardcore Sports. And remember, people, there's a universal question that everyone must answer. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm DJ Storms. This has been the LFU. And that question is, people, who runs the IWC? Who runs it? Who runs the IWC, baby? Trying to figure it out. I'll tell ya who runs the IWC. Who? With DJ motherfucking Storms. And don't you ever forget it. I will catch you guys later.